Hi, and welcome to BremSter Puzzles. I'm back to the first variant puzzle in set 6 of the Sudokétudes series. This puzzle is called Slow Climb, and this one was kind of made as a request. I do get a lot of comments of people saying that they really love it when there is a cage puzzle, historically called Killer Sudoku, but we've tried to, there's been a bit of a trend to try and move to just calling them cage Sudoku. Where they don't need to use a calculator, or they feel that they are understanding what's going on. And I said, okay, let's see if I can make one. Now, it's been a couple of months since I made this puzzle, but I know I had a particular person in mind when I made this puzzle, and I'm hoping he gets to watch this video. So yeah, this is Slow Climb by BremSter. This one should be fairly easy, and I definitely started this one by putting a 3-cell 6 cage 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 into the grid. And then I played around with how to try and make it all work and make it have good logic. Hopefully it worked. We'll find out together. So, of course, there'll be a link below to where you can try this puzzle for yourself. I'm going to go through the rules and then we're going to give it a try. So we've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. And then we've got these cages, and digits in cages must sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage. Now, it is a standard rule of cage Sudoku that you can't repeat digits within cages, but because all of these cages are fully within boxes of the Sudoku, that is already stated within the rules by digits not being able to repeat within boxes. So it was omitted from the rules in this case. But you will often see cage puzzles where the cages state that digits in cages cannot repeat, even though they couldn't by the rules of the puzzle anyway, and that's perfectly fine. It's good. It can be good to reinforce those rules. But in this case, we just know that the digits need to sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. So these are 3 digits that need to sum to 6 without repeating. The lowest digits we can use from 1 to 9 are 1, 2, and 3, which actually sum to 6. So we can't use any other digits. They must be 1, 2, and 3. The 2 is looking up, so we can't put 2 in any of those. This is the 2. The 3 is looking across, making that the 1 and that the 3. Now, we know that the smallest digits that we can put into this, because 3 isn't available, is 1, 2, and 4. And if you add 1, 2, and 4 together, they actually sum to 7. So they must be 1, 2, and 4. Now, we can't put a 1 here, so we know that the 1 is in one of those 2. So we get it down to the 4 is doing more. There's no 4 those. That's the 1, 2 pair. That's the 4. So we get it down to that. Nice and easy. Now we can look at the 8 cage. Now we know that we must use a 1 in an 8 cage. Well, how do we know that? If we don't use a 1, the minimum digits would be 2, 3, and 4. But if we add 2, 3, and 4, they sum to 9. But we need to keep the cage total down to 8. So below 9. So we must use a 1 in the cage, and we can't use it here. So then we need 2 more digits that sum to 7. Well, we can't repeat the 1, so we can't use 1, 6. We couldn't anyway. So it's either 1, 2, 5 or 1, 3, 4. But it can't be 1, 3, 4 because we can't put any of 1, 3, or 4 in this cell. So this cage must be 1, 2, 5. And therefore, this one, which can't be the 1, or this one can't be the 2, this is a 1, 5, and this is the 2. And we get it down to that. That's actually really nice. I quite like that one. I'm happy with that. And now, where is 4 in this box by Sudoku? It can't be in any of those, and I can't put it in the 8 cage. That's the 4. So I want to look at this 9 cage, and I think I must use a 1 because, again, if I don't use a 1, the minimum this could be, without the 4 being available, would be 2, 3, 5, and 2, 3, 5 sums to 10, which is higher than 9. So there must be a 1 in this 9 cage, and then I need 2 more digits that sum to 8. Well, I can't use 1, 7 because I've already used the 1. I could use 2, 6. I could use 3, 5. Not sure about that. All I know is there's definitely a 1 in that cage. I think there's also a 1 in this cage. Yeah, this 10 cage. There's definitely a 1 in this cage. Because if there wasn't, without a 2 being available, the minimum would be 3, 4, 5. And if you add 3, 4, 5, then the sum is 12. But we're keeping it down to 10. So there's definitely a 1 in this cage. Now that does a couple of things. It means that there's no 1 in any of those. There's no 1 in any of those. So the 1 in this column has to be in one of those two. But we need 2 more digits in here that sum to 9. In order to get from the 1 that's already in the one of these 3 cells, we've got 2 more cells to get from 1 to 10. So we need 2 digits that sum to 9. Well, we can't use 1 or 2. So if we use a 3, it's 3, 6, and that could work. The other option is 4, 5, but we can't put a 4 in any of those cells. So we can't use 1, 4, 5, and this has to be 1, 3, 6. There's no 3 there. Okay. I'm wondering if there's more I could do with Sudoku, actually. Like, I could see 2 is in one of those two. 6 is actually... Yeah, let's look at this. 6 can't be in any of those or any of these. 6 is in one of those two. But these 3 digits are known. They are 6, 7, and 9. And there's no 6 there because the 6 has to be in one of those two. If this was a 6, there's no 6 in this box. So we know 5 is in one of those two. Six is in one of those two. Do I want to look at the 11 cage? Maybe I've missed an easy trick on this one. 3 isn't in any of those or any of those. 3 is in one of those two. Is it this? Or is it this? So this is either 1, 2, 6, 1, 3, 5. This is either 1, 2, 6 or 1, 3, 5. So this would be 1, 6 with a 2 here. If it's 1, 3, 5, I'm not seeing the restriction. Maybe I am a little blind. So the 11. If I don't use a 1, well, there's no 2 in this cage. There is no 2 in this cage because 2 can't be in there from there and 2 knocks out this one. So if I don't use a 1, the minimum is 3, 4, 5, which is 12. So there is a 1 in this 11 cage. Right, okay, so yeah, it's these low digits pointing into cages. Right, I didn't remember this at all. So now 1 can't go in any of those cells and 1 can't go in any of those cells. But we know the 1 in this box is in the cage, so 1 can't go there. 1 is in one of those two. This is not the 1. But there is a 1 in this 10 cage, and then there's 2 more digits that sum to 10. Now, I can't use 1, 9. I can't use 2, 8. I can't use 3, 7. This is 1, 4, 6. Can I resolve that? 2 is now in one of those. This is 1, 4, 6. 1 is now in one of those two because I can't put 1 in any of those or any of those. 9 is in one of those. This was flagged as easy. I'm not finding it as easy as the testers flagged it. I don't remember. So I know I created this puzzle, but I don't remember any of the tricks I put in it. There's probably just a really simple thing I've missed. Happens a lot. But this is why I love coming back to even my own puzzles. There's all sorts of awesome things to discover in them. So 1, 2, these are 3, 7, 8, 9. So this is from 7, 8, 9. And right. That is a naked single. This digit can't be 1, 2, it can't be 3, 4. It can be 5. It can't be 5. It can't be 6. It can't be 7. It can't be 9. That's an 8. Which means 8 is in one of those two. And these are 3, 7, 9. And that one can't be a 3. That's an 8. So 8 is not in any of those or any of those. So these are 5. This is 5, 7, or 9. Yeah, I already knew that both of those are 5, 7, or 9. Is this? If this was 1, 2, 6, this would be 1, 6, that would be 3, and that seems okay. 4? There's probably another naked single in here, to be honest. 3 is in one of the... 3 is in this cage, and it has to be in one of those two, because 3 can't be there. So now where's 3 in this column? It's not in any of those, it's not in any of those. This is a 1, 3 pair. That's got to put a restriction on this, because if I don't put a 2 in this 13 cage, the minimum it could be now would be 4, 5, and 7. And 4, 5, and 7 sums to 16, not 13. So there is a 2 in this 13 cage, and I need 2 more digits that sum to 11. So I can't use 9, 2. I can't use 8, 3. I could use 7, 4. I can't use 5, 6. This is 2, 4, 7. And the 4 is looking down saying there's no 4 there, so that's the 4. The 2, 7 is looking up, making that the 1 and that the 2. How's that? That's real. I'm happy with that. The 3, 6 is looking up, taking the 6 out of there, making that the 6. The 2, 7 is looking up, making that the 9 and that the 7. And this is a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are a 5, 8 pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are 5, 8, 9 and must contain a 9. There's no 9 in those. Those are 5 and 7. So I know what these are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are 4 and 9. And the 4 is looking across, making that the 9 and that the 4, taking 4 out of there. So 4 is in one of those two. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these are 5, 7, 8 and must contain a 7. Okay. Is that resolving this yet? Not sure, you know. Yeah. Those two 4s are now doing it. If I don't put a 1 in this 12 cage, the minimum it could be without a 2 would be 3, 5, 6, because I can't put a 4 in the cage, and 3, 5, 6 sums to 14, not 12. So there is a 1 in this cage. And now I can't put 1 in any of those cells. I can't put 1 in any of those cells. And by pencil marks, I can't put a 1 in any of those. I can't put a 1 in any of those cells. That's a 1. But I need 2 digits that sum to 11. I did this wrong. I think I was going for 11 totals here, not 12 totals. But this is the correct... No, I was using 9... Did I do that right? Because I forced a 2 into this cage. But then I couldn't use 9, 3. Ooh, I'm now a little worried about this. There must be a 2 in this cage and 2 digits that sum to 11. Yeah, because I forced a 2 into it. I was aiming for an 11 total because I'd forced a 2 into the cage, not a 1. But now I'm aiming for an 11 total, but I'm aiming for an 11 total with 1, not an 11 total with a 2. There's the difference. It's why I got confused. Okay, so 9-2 can't be used. 8-3 could be used. 7-4 can't be used because I can't put a 4 in the cage. In fact, 4 is in one of those two. Ooh, this has not been narrowed down much, has it? What's this triple? 1, 2, 3, 5. There's no 2 there. Wow, I really have rated the difficulty on this one wrong, but I'm not going to try and mess around with it too much. This is what happens. Sometimes it just happens. So is it... I need to put... Well, where's 9 in this box? I can't put 9 in an 11 cage, so this is a 9. Which means 9 is down here, and I can't put 9 into a 9 cage, so this is a 9. And 9 is down, not in any of those. I could put 9 into a 12 cage. This would be 1, 2. And I can't do that. No, I can't put 9 into a 12 cage. I'd need a 2. So 9's not in any of those or there. But 9 is up here now? I can't put 7, 8, or 9 into a 9 cage. 7 must be in one of those two. There's what I'm looking for. Because if I put 7 into a 9 cage, I need 2 digits that sum to 2. And you can't do that. The minimum would be 1, 2, which sums to 3. So 7 can't be in the 9 cage. It can't be in, and it can't be in any of those cells. So 7 is in one of those two. So that's not the 7. That's the 7. So where's the 8 in this row? I can't put 8 in the 9 cage. So 8 is not in any of those, and it's not in any of those. That's the 8. That's the 5, taking the 5 out of those. I looked at this puzzle exactly the wrong way. I think if I'd started thinking about what digits couldn't go in cages earlier, I may have solved this one a little bit easier. And now I need to remember that lesson and do it still, because I still need to put 8 in here. Eight is in one of those two, because I can't put 8 in any of those, and I can't put 8 in an 11 cage, or at least not in this 11 cage. So 8 is in one of those. So 8's not here. This is actually a 7-8 pair. So in here, I've got either 1, 2, 1, 2, 6 or 1, 3, 5. And this has to be a 2, 6 or a 3, 5. Because these are the 2 digits that don't go into here. So this is either 2, 6 or 3, 5. The 5 takes the 5 out of here. This is 1, 2, 3, or 6, and I'm still not... Wow, I think I got the difficulty rating on this one very wrong. These are from 1, 3, 5, and 6 only. This is 5 or 8 only. It sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 9. That's only 5 or 8. So 6 is in one of those two for the column. So there's no 6 in this 12. So I need two digits that sum to 11, which is not 9, 2. It could be 8, 3. It can't be 7, 4. It can't be 5, 6. So this is 1, 8, 3. So that means 3 has to be in one of those, because I can't put 3 in any of those or in any of those. So 3 is in the 14 cage. So there's no 3 here. 3 is in one of those two. But with 3 in the 14 cage, I now need two digits that sum to 11. I can't use 9, 2. I can't use 8, 3. I could use 7, 4. Can I use 5, 6? These would be 3. No, I can't use 5, 6, because if this was 3, 5, 6, I can't put 5 or 6 in here, and this would have to be both 5 or 6. This is 3, 7, 4, and there's no 3 there. I'm finding this way trickier than I thought it was. BremSter messed up. This is 3, 4, 7. So 1, 2. 2 is in one of those, yep. 3, 4, 5 is down here. 6 is down here in one of those. 8 is down here. Right, 8 is down here. Where's 8 in this row? It can't be in any of those. It can't be in any of those. That's the 8. That's the 9. Which puts 9 in one of those two. So this is 4, 7 or 9. That can't be a 4. And the 7 is looking down, making that the 9. That's not the 9. So these are not 1, 2, 3. These are 4, 5, 6, and 7. There's no 4 in any of those. So this is 5, 6, or 7. What have I done? I think I've missed an important trick in my own puzzle. I will have to apologize to the person I created this for, who wanted an easy flowing. I think it's still got some interesting stuff in it. I'm not going to pull the puzzle or try and redesign it, because I'm enjoying it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. These are 5, 6, 8, and 9. Well, 9 is now in one of those two. So this is 5, 6, or 8. It's not an 8. It's a 5 or a 6. What have I done? What have I done? So these are from 2, 3, 5, 8. That is a 1, 3, 8 triple. So 8 is in one of those two and not there, which means 8 can't be in those or either of those. That's an 8. Looking up saying that's not an 8, that's an 8. And this is from 2, 3, or 5. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 5, 6. These are from 2, 5, 6 and must contain a 6, saying that's not a 6, that's a 6. This is now from 4, 5, 7. Wow. The 3 must be in here. There's no 3 here. I've really done some strangeness on this puzzle. I did test this though. It's possible when I tested this, I made a mistake. Or I remembered a trick from when I tested this that I have forgotten since. These are 2, 4, 5, 7. Two is looking down saying that's not a 2. So that is a 1, 4, 5, 6 quadruple. 1, 4, 5, 6 are the only digits that can go in those cells. So there's no 4 there. That's the 4. That's the 7. That's the 7. That's the 3. The 3 and the 7 make that the 9, making that the 7 and that the 3. The 7 makes that the 5 and that the 7. The 5 looks across making that the 6. This is not the 6. In fact, for this row, this is the 9. This is not the 9. This is a 5, 8. Okay, more. The 4 is looking across making that the 7, which makes that the 5 and that the 4. The 5 looks back making that the 6, which makes that the 1, which makes that the 5, which makes that the 1. And the 1 and the 6 means that's the 4, that's the 6. And that's the quadruple fully resolved. Wow, no 6 there. Now, where else does that provide? There's no 1 there. So this is 2, 3, or 6 only. The 5 is looking up, making that the 8 and that the 5. The 8 is looking down, making that the 7 and that the 8. The 5 is saying no 5 in either of those. The 8 is looking down, saying no 8 there. This is the 8. This is a 1, 3. So we've got 1, 3, but the 5 is looking across, making that the 2, that the 5, saying that's the 3, that's the 2, that's the 5, taking 5 out of here. Which means in this box, the only place I could put a 5 now is right there. So those digits have to sum to 4. So there's no 6 in them. I can't use 2, 2, so it has to be 1, 3. So it's 1 and 3, which means that's the 2, that's the 6. The 1 looks down, making that the 3 and that the 1, which looks across, making that the 3 and that the 1. The 7 looks across, making that the 2 and that the 7. The 3 looks across, making that the 6 and that the 3. And that is the solution to the puzzle. But I think I rated this one way easier than I should have. I am actually going to drop this. I know I said at the start of the video, this was supposed to be the third puzzle in the pack. I think I'm going to drop it later. I'm going to move this down to much later in the pack because this turned out, maybe I missed something. And maybe my tester missed something, but I think that this is slightly harder than it needed, well, not that it needed to be, but that I initially rated it. So I'm going to drop this further down in the pack and there'll be something else as the first puzzle. So when you see the intro and it's like, this is the first variant Sudoku. Yeah, I was wrong. I was completely wrong. I'm wrong a lot. It happens. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed the puzzle. And as always, good luck with your solving.